It's a very beautiful afternoon at the Mavuso International Trade Fair on this beautiful Monday afternoon, the very first day of September. It's springtime already, and a very warm welcome where Eswatini TV is broadcasting live at the Eswatini International Trade Fair. My name is John Perez, and I am together with my co-host here, Nomalungelo Jele, whom we will be together and from now until 5 p.m. And I do hope that you will join us. Nomalungelo, a very good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is the first day of September and it's my birth month, so I'm feeling very excited and to be here at the International Trade Fair. It's quite a beautiful event.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that we have in Eswatini going on good is the fact that we get to host the International Trade Fair every other year. Educational Monday. Tineke sesifunza digital.
Yeah. Don't rush it. Banana spring flowers, yeah.
Yes.
They already affirmed that it's your birthday month.
Yes,
you know.
thank you.
And of course, the fact that a trade fair hosts our it's springtime, you know, the summer bodies we see.
Yes.
And I think we will be seeing a lot of those things and in the ambience that we'll be showing our viewers shortly.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited to be here yet again and with you. Can you imagine? I used to watch you on TV. Now I get to host with you. It's so insane, guys. But anyway, this is the 57th edition.
What does it say about me, Noma?
I'm not trying to say anything, you know, I don't put words in my mouth. I'm not trying to say anything, but it's such a privilege to be doing this with you for the next 2 hours. And for everyone who has been aspiring to be the next John Perez, you know. So yeah, it could be anyone, actually.
And I do think that, you know, having done this for so long myself, you know, when I see new energy on TV, I feel like I need to go back to this level, you know. So it is actually an honor for myself to be hosting with such a vibrant young person.
Yeah.
And, you know, we learn a lot from seeing the new generation, and while you say you learn from us as well, but it's quite an honor to be here today with you.
Yes, I was posing a question earlier. I was asking you, Guti, now we're talking about AI, we're talking about digital era. Back in the day, because online, paper. What changes have you seen in terms of like education? Seeing that you're a father yourself, what have you noticed in terms of education?
I think the evolution in terms of these technologies, you know, are a challenge, especially for those who come from this previous generation, you know. While we excelled in many ways, you know, even back in the day, but I think technology and these digital tools have made it easier for the modern day generation to communicate and to provide some efficiencies where they need to do that, you know. But we have nevertheless caught up because if we don't adapt, it means we are being phased out, you know.
That's true.
Which is not really a challenge for myself, but generally for everyone, which is why I think today most of our discussions here on the program or on the show will be centered around what's happening on AI, digital transformation, and so on.
Yes, definitely, guys. So we are going to be bringing you all of the action, but mostly focusing on educational transformation. And of course, we're speaking AI. There's so many tools that have been introduced at schools. Now there's a way to check if someone has been plagiarizing their work. Now you can submit online as well. There's softwares for that. So I think it's very important that we adapt and also to understand how these technologies work. But more than anything, to understand what the Ministry of Education is doing with the Ministry of ICT, right? But you know, there's so many things that we have seen here that's beautiful. Do you wanna, you know, talk about the ambience? What have you seen so far?
Oh yeah, we are lucky to be here. You know, we will perhaps want to translate or to let our viewers see what's happening here. Because like I said earlier on, the energy that we see here it's so beautiful. Eswatini are coming out here in numbers. And more so, we know this year's edition is the 57th edition. And on the 6th of September, it's going to commemorate its 57th year alongside the country celebrating its 57th independence anniversary. And I think the good thing with the trade fair, Nomalungelo, is that it happens when schools are closed, you know, so kids do get an opportunity to come here, which is why we see quite a lot of young people here around.
Yeah, definitely, guys. As a parent myself, I can tell that a lot of kids are having fun. There's so much that's going on, but more than so much that's going on, we're looking at businesses as well. We're talking about digital transformation, stakeholders. So there's a lot to see. If you're a parent, it's very inclusive. Basically, you can have your child playing whilst also still getting to enjoy, you know, basically the adult part of, you know, the International Trade Fair. But with that being said, we want to show you guys everything that's going on in terms of like the ambiance. So let's see what's happening at the International Trade Fair 2025.
Asinvusele maswahla mahle ke nalamuhla ke nzambama eMavuso International Trade Center. Libito lami nginjoni ngakaphirezi sibongo. Siyajabula kakhulu maswahla mahle kuba nani ke la eMavuso la kucele khona ke umsebenzi lomkhulu ngamgcibelo lesikwa kuwo we Eswatini International Trade Fair 57th edition. Umsakazo Eswatini TV kuthi ke njalo ke ngelanga uqale ke kusakade lo msebenzi ngensimbi yesithathu kude ke kube insimbi yesihlanu ke enzambama. Lasithola khona ke lithuba lekubona ukuthi siqhubekane ke eMavuso International Trade Center kuyo ke trade fair yeminyaka wanga 2025, and over and above that we also get to speak to a lot of stakeholders that are also here at the Mavuso Trade and Exhibition Center, and today's focus we just want to educate and just want to be with you as an interested party in terms of what's happening at the Mavuso International Trade Center. And one of the things that Mavuso International Trade Center is that a lot of traffic comes here in terms of motorists, in terms of pedestrians, in terms of children, and then there's a lot of management around those issues, and you do want to find out exactly how to conduct yourself in terms of parking, safety issues, and so on and so forth. And today's discussion with Sergeant TK Dube is centered around that conversation to say, when you are here at the trade fair, what can you do to make sure you are safe, and what can you do to protect yourself, your property, and so on and so forth. Madam Dube, ngikubingelele ngikuphethuba lekuvusela eMaswati.
Ngiyabingelela nami kakhulu bani babe
Perez. I appreciate the break about the traffic now, because you normally when you are encountered with a difficult surname, the easiest thing to do would say but I think when I Perez, then I can continue. I trade fair and I think it is part of your way of supporting and of your playing the role at the Eswatini International Trade Fair. But I think we just want to talk about irresponsibility, no role in traffic at the trade fair.
No, thank you, Mr. Piri. Traffic imatima kakhulu ene imqoka kakhulu. Without traffic police officers kude lokungenteka. Kude njengoba nibona njena ukuthi it's very busy. Bantu bayayithanda i-trade fair kakhulu. Kunebantwana, kunema tourists, kuneyadotonke, then i-congestion iba inkulu kakhulu.
Yeah. I think eMaswati later a trade fair kufuna understand le role le yemaphoyisa, you know, njengoba usho lokuthi inengakhulu traffic leba khona letako la bantu ke beta vele sebajakelele bakujakile bafuna ukungena ngekhathi bafuna kupaka lapha nalapha, you know. When we talk about parking arrangements and in terms of how motorists in particular kufuna batiphathe njani noma kumbe bathathe basebenzisane njani nawe emaphoyisa.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu imqoka kakhulu leyo kakhulu yema parkings emaphoyisa ikakhulu uma emelapha emele kusita lesive without lokuthi kumbe kube khona kungqondana lokuthile, and people they don't understand ukuthi without traffic police officers ngeke baze bakhona kufinyelela lapha babe khona. Ngisho ngani kanjena uhamba ngemoto then kuyenteka maybe wena sona leyo pressure leyo so uyema ekhathi emgaqweni then kunebantu labakulandelako ngemuva, then the traffic officers if say director kuthi ngicela ubuye ngapha please siyacela babukeli nibalalele ningathathi ngalokuthi maybe bayanihlukumeza noma kanjani, without kokuthi ama traffic officers abe khona emgaqweni ngeke senifinyelele lapho ningafika khona. Ningaba stuck kakhulu emgaqweni, so ngiyacela ukuthi ama traffic officers amcoka kakhulu if akhombisa ukuthi hamba uyopaka lena sicela uhambe, and kungeda kuloko kunema pedestrians. Ema-pedestrian amcoka la emgaqweni kunebantwana kunemidlalo kunebakho abantwana kunebabobhuti wakho. We are family here eSwatini. iSwatini incane kakhulu, so kunokwenteka bese sesithi maybe awusayilalela i-traffic officers ikhomba la maybe sokulimala lo mntwana then access ngeke kusaba mnandi nawe ungudriver sekutaklimata, so ngiyacela lokuthi ama-traffic officers sibalalele kakhulu nkosi yami babukele.
I think the most important thing you keep mentioning is, you know, but let's talk about the importance of respect, you know, which is something that perhaps let's talk about the importance of giving respect to each other. Emaswati namaphoyisa as well.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi irespect in two ways. Mina kufuneka ngulalela nawe ungilalele. So mina maybe ngiyafisa lokukulalela, but sometimes ngiya protector futhi. Mina ngiyam protector umuntu. Fanele abe protected umuntu lohamba ngetinyawo. Ilene ngiprotector nawe futhi. So le respect ifuneka ibe in two ways. I respect imcoka kakhulu. In short njena if njena ngithi njena kunesikhathi lapho njena ndawukhuluma kakhona kunesikhathi sokuthi ungene la ngekhathi kulama exhibit la khona kumasol then kuba netikhathi letithile then lesikhathi labantwana bangekho siyavuma ukuthi ningene but ngicabanga ukuthi kune stipulated time ukuthi maybe from 7 to 7:30 maybe akusangena please siyacela not ukuthi maybe siyanigcilata noma kanjani we are protecting life and property
kwenda ukuthi wonke umuntu egcineni kwakhona konke abe safe and nalomsebenzi ukuthi uhambe kahle. We are talking about motorists and I've already witnessed and seen ngisho ulapha edolobheni uyabona imoto leti la trade fair tinengi kakhulu ti safe kangakanani imoto ngabe yini I role emaphoyisa in making sure ngoba lo munye kumbuta ukuthi ngiyafuna kuya le but kutawugangwa lapha kuyobhaka imoto yami le ndasi lena ngishiya it may be susceptible to crime what are the things that the police or the traffic police have put in place to ensure that the motor is safe?
No, timoto tema site siyathembisa lokuthi it is safe ikakhulu leni ngoba kunema traffic officers lahle ahamba around kunebaka general duty lahle bahamba around kunanaba ama securities now before masifika njena siba brief sithi sicela sibabonele ikakhulu ngacela emaswatini ukuthi uma uhamba ngemoto ngiyacela ukuthi ningashi emotweni ema valuables eni like I laptop ake ngibekise nje please ngicela uma uphuma ne laptop uma utene laptop ithathe emotweni uma uphethe isikhwama sakho sithathe emotweni ngoba leni la ngoba lokho ngolo lokudosa labantu abaganga kuba kubona la ekhathi it's either noma ngabe uyakufihla ukuvala nga something but ike kakhulu siyacela lokuthi ningakushila ekhathi emotweni bayabukela
banenge badalile abakhulule abantwana bathi abahambe baye trade fair babaphe imali and these kids are very excited when they see the activities kukhala music ngale ngendase langalana bayagijima bafuna kwehla nje benyuka they are sort of uncontrollable. Ngabe amaphoyisa atawubuka njani ukuthi ngabe batali what role can they play as they release their kids, especially those who are not coming along with their kids?
Hey, that is very important. Angathi ukuthi singayigcizelela siyithini siyacela batali babukeli bantwana abahambe nomuntu losa akhulile bantwana bangahambi bodwa umntwana uba excited kakhulu umkhanda umntwana sohamba emgaqweni lapho khona kuhamba imoto lapha kune pavement lapha siyacela lokuthi abantwana basebenzise kona lapho bahamba khona bangahambi la emgaqweni ngoba udathi wena umntwana usahamba lana umntwana sosuke ikakhulu so uma ahamba nemntali siyacela lokuthi bantwana labancane babambe ngetandla bangabayekeli bese siyacela ikakhulu mphathi wami lokuthi naba laba sebenta lapha khande ukuthi kumbe bapenda labantwana angithi bantwana vele silethe bona ba excited labo so khona naba labapenda abantwana laba bavimbela lapha emgaqweni kulama pavement ukhande ukuthi seba groupene abantwana then la bahamba ko labanye labetele imali noma la sebapendile sebahamba la ekhathi emgaqweni so ingodi kakhulu angathi lokuthi bangasibamba siyacela lokuthi ukufile imali sayifuna amaswati lamahle imali siyidingile sicela lokuthi umane ngabe nibapenda bapendele khashanyana nalama pavement batokhona kuhamba.
In your experience working at the trade fair in previous years kukhona lapho khona sike saba netikika bakhona lapho khona kumbe bantwana babe sebayalimala bancundva imoto ngakho kona leli sikhuluma ngakho
kuyenteka kakhulu kuyenteka abantwana bayalimala njengoba ngiphinde ngigcizelele ngeke angathi ngingathini umntwana lomncane ngiyacela ngiyagcizelela amaswati lamahle mbambe ngesandla ungamhambisi yedwa then uma ngabe umthumele nemuntu lomdala before asuke ekhaya mtshele phelela la hamba nemntwana ukuthi ngicela umntwana onginakele angahambi yedwa ngoba kude lo ngathi ukuthi umntwana vele akati lutho uba excited kakhulu.
We see a lot of technology lately in all spheres, on all sectors. education, you know, kuma industries sekusetshenziswa kakhulu digital tools, you know. There's just a lot of transformation happening to such an extent that you will see khona la trade fair, maybe some of the activities are being captured ngema drones and so on and so forth. Kukhona yini kumbe i-technology lesetshenziswa ngemaphoyisa kuzama ku-enhance umsebenzi wawo, especially in terms of controlling traffic, in terms of monitoring safety and all those kind of issues?
Kukhona lokho, but ke kunetindo esingemaphoyisa ukuthi imfihlo lekungakafanele sithi ikhokhe ngaphandle, but njena kunako konke whatever lokwentako noma whatever lapho ukhona khona wathi ukuthi kunemehlo lamanye la alakubukile, maybe wena ungacabanga ukuthi hayi kude ubone ngalokuthi maybe kude ema cameras, but there are something la lekhona ngeke wathi ukuthi kunani songawaxwayisa emaswati ukuthi lapho uhamba khona abakatiphathe kahle emgaqweni noma ngabe kuphi.
Yeah, kukhona ke ngalobuningi balabantu la trade fair, and a lot of them, yes, are using their own cars, but a lot of Eswatini are also using public transport. So kunaleli gama lekuthi hey bacaphakile abantu trade fair, kumbe umuntu athatha iveni yakhe athi asengihambe ngiyobamela lapha egedeni ngiloba layisha ngibamekise kuphi kuphi. It could be perhaps a kumbi that is unlicensed to do that. Kanti utawukhanza ukuthi lamaswati sekangena etingotini. Within this territory, what are we doing to protect Eswatini from providers of public transport that is unauthorized?
Ngiyabonga kakhulu silapha njena emgaqweni sebanenge lesibabophile lebenda kona lokuganga siyacela la labasebenzisa ema public transport babe nawo ema variation ibe imoto ikahle iphilile ngoba uma sekwenteka ingoti laba baka embase bayakubuka lokho lokuthi ingoti yenteka njena bekuvumelekile yini lokuthi uhambe khona lapho lokunye futhi angathi lengakucela ngathi lokuthi singente njani. Ngiyabonga kunathi ema companies ikakhulu njena nanga la chasha ema public transport abalethe by group lokho kuyasita kakhulu lena ngoba sonke la Eswatini sesinete imoto uma ngabe njena kuleyo umuntu lo sebenza kuleyo company engeta nemoto yakhe vele good parking lana emavuso yincane kakhulu, so siya encourage ukuthi njena laba public transport abakhulume nalama stakeholders lamanye ukuthi angabalayishela staff but ngetimoto letiphilile. Siyabonga.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu. One of the things maybe lethi vama kwendeka lana ngalobuningi balama activities, you know, bantu bahleli basukumile lokwanalokwa balahla tikhiya lokwanalokwa kubunga khanze amaphoyisa sekabathi le moto ayisasuki ngani lapha le yasolimile umnekati wayo solahlekelwe isikhiya, you know. You've been doing this job for a very long time, you know. Ayatsinga emaswati ukuthi siwachushise ngalokuthi as I said at a trade fair, how can they manage this particular aspect of coming here?
Yes, siyacela ukuthi emaswatini bo driver siyabacela ukuthi abatigade tikhiya tabo ungatibeki noma kanjani ngoba kuyokwenteka leso sikhiya sakho sitholwa ngumuntu lo muntu kanti ubonile sokwekwenteka lokho sithola ngumuntu leso sikhiya uyathatha le moto yakhe thina asathi ukuthi imoto yabani, so siyacela ukuthi itinto letinjalo tigadeke emaswatini ngatibeki nje nahlapha noma kanjani.
Lakho lokugcina madam sivalelise.
No, ngiyabonga kakhulu Maswati, siyabonga luhlelo kwami njena ukuthi sisese trade fair asichubekeni sitiphathe kahle siwele kuma pedestrian crossing sibuke imoto sihambe kuma pavement bantwana sibagade. Ngiyabonga kakhulu msakazi.
Madam TK Wagadubelo, who is a sergeant law controller ke noma kusita ke kubambisana nabemthetho ku controller ke about the traffic khona ke la kamanzini. Make sure your car is safe, make sure it's locked, make sure you don't leave out any important gadgets there, in particular cell phones and laptops. And also make sure that when you send your kids to the Eswatini International Trade Fair ubathumela nemuntu lo sekakhulile lotabanaga I traffic lapha emgwaqweni iphithitela kakhulu bantwana ke bese ke bayalimala and amongst other things. Thank you so much for joining us on this particular edition of our interview. We shall take a quick break and come back with more interviews.
Imagine being part of a journey that uncovers the beauty of untold stories. Get ready to be part of something epic. You don't want to be left out, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Join the journey of uncovering untold stories through art, words, and hands. O-U-T out. Well, that's poetry. Poetry. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Screens on, eyes glued.
Ngikwende konke lobekubhekekile kimi. Nginikele ngenkadi nemandla ami onke ngifeza ifiso tenu. Ngathela Thando nenjabulo ngithobela imiyalo yenu. Don't want to lose you, Manje. Touch me. Konke ngithembekile. Ngakhomba kuba indvodzana leqotho. Kodwa lokho bese ngikufuna manje ngeke ngikuthola. Ngekwami akusiko kwena. Yimpi nekufa kuphela lokudangihlukanisa nawe.
Spotting opportunity across the borders. Can we talk about that? How important is it for Eswatini to not just think,
Yes.
this is where I have to find my being and move, but how can we also like find opportunities in other African countries, to be specific?
Well, I will answer that question out of my experience, and that is, I literally went to Tanzania. And then I started seeing opportunities.
Yeah.
If I didn't go to Tanzania, I was not going to see opportunities. I saw the potential when I was there. The travel agent potential is because I saw it there.
Yeah.
So I would really advise people not to confine themselves into one area. There is something they call the red card theory. The red card theory is if you're driving from here to Mbabane, and you pass 7 cars that are red, and you will not notice them because you didn't think about noticing them.
Yeah.
But if I tell you before you leave here that I'll give you 20 rands for each red car that you see, on your way to Mbabane, you will tell me exactly how many red cars are there.
Yeah.
So that is spotting opportunity. That's basically putting your mindset and yourself in a position to see things, to see opportunities.
Don't miss Young Climber this Tuesday at 6:30, only on Eswatini TV. Win big when you pay your TV license at the 2025 International Trade Fair. Step into the excitement at the trade fair, where staying connected brings you incredible rewards. Pay your TV license at our booth and stand a chance to score fantastic prizes all week long. What can you win? A dreamy weekend for 2 at Happy Valley, your perfect escape. A gourmet dinner thanks to our Sibanisami Hotel dinner voucher. A relaxing getaway with a George Hotel voucher. Delicious meals with an exclusive Ramblers dining restaurant voucher. The hottest tech gadgets from Computronics to upgrade your viewing experience. Food hampers by Logico. Building and fencing materials from Build It and Markstill Eswatini. A tranquil retreat at Simunye Country Club. And that's just the beginning. Grab the Skujana remote for only 100 emalangini or treat yourself to a new Skujana at just 350 emalangini. Never miss a moment with Eswatini TV. 29 August to 7 September 2025. Mavuso International Trade Fair. Don't let this chance pass you by. Join us, pay your TV license, and find yourself among the lucky winners. Connect, experience, and win. See you at the Trade Fair.
Welcome back, everyone. We're still at the International Trade Fair of 2025, and of course, this is the 57th edition. We are looking at our theme being Educational Monday, and we have very important guests who are in the forefront of education. Sinamusa Hlope, who's the director of the National Curriculum Center, and of course, we have Tsepsile Ngumalo, who is the Chief Inspector Secondary. So we want to find out more in terms of like education in the digital era, and these are the rightful people to have conversations with today as per our theme. And of course, we're looking at digital transformation.
Yebo.
Ninjani niphilile?
Siphilile kakhulu.
Siyaphila nathi. Sikhuluma kabanti ngetindzaba te-education. So I just want to find out ukuthi what does a typical classroom look like now, because we're speaking digital transformation and it is 2025. I'm sure ukuthi sekuba khona ema changes like abakhona in terms of the classroom setup.
Thank you for having us today. What the ministry is doing now, with support, of course, from partners, is to digitalize our classrooms. So you will find some classrooms having smart boards. You will also have, tablets provided to the learners and laptops. We are also procuring and providing learners with and without disabilities softwares that they can use to access the curriculum. So typically that's what you will find in our classrooms, and it's in both primary and also secondary schools. But I think my colleague can also add.
Okay.
Yes, in terms of curriculum development, in the past, print materials.
Yes, that's true.
But now we are digitizing the curriculum.
Yes.
Yeah, because we need to align to the transformation, the digital transformation.
Right.
So we are digitizing the curriculum, and we are finishing this financial year for the whole school system.
All right. These are my amazing guests, and of course, before we carry on with our conversation, I think it's time for us. We'll be right back after the break.
Lalela ngikutshela tindzaba letiphuma enkosini. Uthokandaba, tinfombi, imbali yemaswati ayiphelele esigodlweni elidzidzi mhla titimbili enyonini. Titawufike tibhalise ngalelo langa. Mhla tintsatfu tiyaphuma. Mhla titine tiyageca. Mhla tisihlanu tiyabuya. Mhla tisithupha tiyaphumula. Mhla tisikhombisa tiyachitsa. Mhla tisiphohlongo enyonini tiyagidza. Imiyalo etikhulwini. Nguleso naleso sikhulu kubheke kokuthi sikhiphe emajaha lamane nabomake lababili. Kude kokuthi nakukhona longaphilwa lomunye webamfana. Lawo lamabili emajaha akhone kubikela labafanele. Nekuthi lo mfana noma sekafakwe esibhedlela bakhone kubikela abatali emakhaya. Boba betikhulu bantha benkosi lababuke imimanga. Kubhekekile kokuthi bayale imbali nemajaha kanye nabomake nabaphuma emphakathini. Nawe emajaha ayati ukuthi tinfombi tilala todwa nalabaduna balala bodwa. Boba betikhulu bayakhunjuta kokuthi bangakhiphi bantfana labancane ngenxa yekweswelakala kwemhlanga edvutane bese abasakhoni kuhamba indlela lenza. Siyimbali yemaswati sichakazile sitakunqoba kuhlukubetela. Usho njalo ke Mswati lomnyama kulabalithuli lodungandaba sembelebeleni makhephula ngejozi igazi liyaphalala. Enwaphakathi.
Welcome back. We are still carrying on with our conversation with our representatives from the Ministry of Education. We are speaking more of digital transformation in terms of the education sector, and we have Mr. Hlope and Miss or Mrs. Ngumalo. Yes, so before we went for our ad break, we were just touching base on what a typical classroom looks like now, and there's been a lot of innovations. But Mr. Hlope, in terms of like how teachers are being equipped, Mr. Hlope, because definitely they're in the forefront. How are they being supported in terms of like the initiatives and trainings that they are allocated so that they are able to conduct teaching in terms of digital transformation?
Yeah, teaching really it has to transform
Yes.
from the paper-based, the print materials, to embrace the digital initiatives.
Yes.
So sikhanzeke ukuthi kumcoka ukuthi when we develop the curriculum, we engage the teachers because they are technical expert. They have the technical expertise.
Yes.
And nasba engage, we train them. When we train them, then they develop some of these chapters, lessons for the e-learning.
Yes.
So in that way, they become our ambassadors to advocate to their constituencies on how best can they embrace digital learning in their space.
And I'm sure on initiatives, something something new that's being implemented. Obviously, there are challenges. So, says Kulumaguti Botishela Sebabe equipped, and that's still ongoing. Are there any challenges then now in terms of like the transition from the traditional way of doing things to the new way of doing things now that you have noted?
Yeah, of course. Nakufika influencer vele bantu baqale basime banga lokunya basime ngamabomu.
Yes.
It's because they need to be equipped with skills.
Yes.
So lokuqala ke siba train sisuke siba equip so that babe familiar with the ICTs.
Yes.
So nabangena ke kule space sabo saka teaching and learning babe seba capacitated.
Okay.
Because everything is doing on the digital machines.
Okay. Well said. Letindzaba ke te-coding, tindzaba lesitibukako besimalo. We are talking coding, we are talking robotics. We cannot be naive and not conform to the new way of doing things. Are there any opportunities or platforms whereby young people can gain the necessary skills in terms of the two things that I've just mentioned, coding and robotics as well, locally?
Okay. So definitely, kukhona lesikwendako selitiko. My colleague nje NCC lala sikhicita khona lele sithi syllabus ne curriculum. Ku curriculum yethu yaka ICT we have integrated robotics kule curriculum yethu. So indlela lesizama to align so that our children are equipped.
Yes.
So i-curriculum yethu seyiqalile kukwenta lokho, but there's still a lot that needs to be done kuze kuthi ifike even nase secondary secondary level and even beyond.
Yes.
Athi nje bengicela nekungeda lokuthi sisakhuluma ngale training yabo teacher. We recently trained about 50 wabo teacher.
Yes.
Sisupportwa ngo ICT. And they, in fact, kuhle lokuthi sibona litiko letemfundo libambisana nalamanye ematiko.
Yes.
Sikhona train abo teacher bethu. They were trained with the support from an institution outside Eswatini, but also locally. We have our university.
Yes.
I'm sure nibonile ukuthi bangenile kakhulu ke bona ku AI.
Yes.
We have a number of teachers laba enrolako, laba funzako.
Yes. And Klambe, just to find out more about the vision, I think one thing that we really don't talk about is the future in terms of education and in terms of AI. What does the future look like for learners, for our education system locally? Sifuna kufika ku first world whereby maybe you don't even have to attend class anymore. You can just be, be in class whilst using your device. What does the future look like? And also just talking about the digital transformation, and in terms of our education.
And then he will come in. We in education we're talking of blended learning.
Yes.
Because remember, these are social beings.
Yes.
It's important that we develop the social skills, and that means face-to-face is important.
Okay.
But the curriculum that we have now, la khulume ngayo babehlope earlier, it's blended learning. So allowing learners to learn, away from the brick and mortar, but also coming together. But talking about the future, we are envisioning a classroom, a smart classroom.
A smart classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely, we are seeing our education being transformed by 2030.
By 2030.
Because that's what we were heading for.
Okay.
Because we reduce the chalk and board.
Yeah.
So we encourage our learners to use the digital devices.
Okay.
When she's talking about blended learning, of which it's a mix of the face-to-face as well as the digital, because these are human beings. Sometimes they need to be trained to use the devices as well.
That's true.
So, yeah.
And I feel like some of the people that are also affected by, the changes that we are talking about are the parents, who are mostly concerned about cost in terms of the devices and in terms of like the internet. So how are we making an environment as the ministry, maybe in collaboration with other stakeholders, ukuthi lama grievances awo anakekeleke and futhi kube khona lokuthi kube inclusive of people that are making a lot of money and just humble parents that are also trying to give their children the best education possible.
Okay. Our ministry in El Popolo, we want to see all the schools to be connected.
Okay.
Through internet.
Yes.
So there are so many initiatives ngebambisana nema partners ethu lesebenza nawo. Lokufaka ekhathi iMinistry of ICT,
yes.
lokufaka ekhathi ESECOM,
yes.
UNICEF. There are so many of them. Bayasibambisa kakhulu.
Yes.
Currently, there is a project that let's engaged with the Ministry of ICT, the school connectivity.
Yes.
So we want to ensure that every school is connected.
Okay.
Partner at ESCOM was still engaging in talks. We'll see e-education is zero rated,
yes.
particularly when the learner angena platform e-learning, because we have Eswatini Learning Passport,
okay.
which is our digitized curriculum for our school systems.
Okay.
So we are working on the logistics on how best can we ensure that tikolo tonke tiba connected, okay. and embracing the vision yelive, because we are talking of educational hubs.
Yes.
Sifuna ukubona lokho kwendeka, so we are equipping our learners afike nabo lapho.
And kukhuluma about these new technologies, siyathi ukuthi sonke singemaswati and siyaticaba ngekuthi singemaswati. Mhlambe kuva kabanti nje from the ministry ukuthi how can we embrace the new changes while still being proud of the fact that we are Swazi and we have a traditional way of doing things.
Yeah, that's a very, very good question.
Yeah.
What we are doing as a ministry is to ensure that technology does not replace
okay.
our cultural identity,
yes.
but it enhances. So you will see curriculum we are, ensuring that our values
yes.
as a Maswati are upheld.
Yes.
We have, Siswati integrated.
Yes.
Kule technology and so basically we want to make sure that asitikhanzi sesilahlekelwa ngiloko lesingiko kona. We logo sikufakele liso lelikhulu ukuthi kungenteki as we digitalize our classrooms.
Okay. And in a nutshell, before I let you go, what does the future look like for education in 2030? Siyaswipe konke si digital nje. Yes.
Well, we had said earlier that we want our classrooms, to be smart classrooms.
Yes.
And not just for a selected group of learners.
Yes.
For learners with and without disabilities, and also for learners in rural and also in urban areas.
Okay.
And we are happy ukuthi even the grand plan la hulumende likubukile lokuthi tikolwa tonke adibe equipped with the tools like and assistive tools for those who have disabilities. Depends on the access to the internet,
okay.
Connectivity, let me
yes.
put it that way. So we envision that because our classrooms, learners will be learning,
okay.
with laptops, all learners.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the future looks bright, Mr.
Very.
Actually, we were piloting at primary level, grade 4.
Yes.
That's where we started. 2 schools. There were 70 tablets in the classroom.
Okay.
One in the urban area, the other in the rural setup. So what was interesting is that Labantana Laba from the rural setup,
yes.
they were doing very well.
Oh, that's
so
great.
At some point in time, they attend school.
Okay.
Then the teacher give them an assignment, some work to do at home, with the assistance of a parent.
Yes.
Because batal phela siyaba engage ababo labantwana. So bahambe nalama devices by emakhaya bawufunza. Of course we are monitoring.
Yes.
And protect my sites, that's it.
Yes.
Yes, kuthi bafunze phela.
Thank you so much for joining us. Definitely the future looks bright for Eswatini. The fact that we have started, the fact that the ministry has started implementing these changes means that we are going a long way. We appreciate you guys taking your time to talk to us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, still the International Trade Fair, and of course we've just heard from representatives of the Ministry of Education. The future looks bright for young people upcoming, in the educational sector, and of course a lot of changes are going to be implemented. We hope that young people are excited for that, because mobile devices, but right now you are given all the tools to equip yourself, because we are saying that we are not noting the fact that digital transformation is something that is happening. With that being said, we'll take a break. When we come back, we have so much more on our live broadcast.
Kanti ke mbukeli solo sikhona ke emavuso njengoba ngishilo ukuthi imbukeli ngiyo Educational Monday. Kuningi ngile sikufundzako lamhla la. Icela kwami sokhona ke bhuti ngidawuva ukuthi ngikhuluma na bhuti bani suka kuphi futhi why abe la emavuso lamhla.
Awukhuluma na Melusi Miyeni mnakethu ngichamuka le ndawo seshiselweni kavuthela ka project vuthela siphehla gesi thina sisebenzisa bulongo betinkomo. So nathi singone of ema exhibitors la trade fair stokhangisa umsebenzi wethu namuhla. Ngiyabonga.
Njengoba kuyi Educational Monday mnethu lamuhla la yini nje lokugade ukuthola wena ungumyeni uthi hayi lamuhla nakufunza naku ngithi ngishika ekhaya ngibe senginelwadi la.
Kakhulu ngiyabonga mnethu kakhulu noma nami into exhibitor but ngiyahamba ngisikhathi ngihamba lama stalls ngibuka innovation ukuthi emaswati ngabe abheke phi in the future ngoba naba ngifisa ukuthi ngase ngasalele emuva ngelwadi ngithi ngihamba sengibuke letinye inkampani ukuthi tona ngabe ti innovate kanjani ti thuthukisa kanjani ngiloko nje lengifisa ukuthi ngikufunze namuhla in this Educational Monday mnethu.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu manje isikhathi sakho.
Hayi siyabonga kakhulu bhuti.
Emavuso ke mbukeli trade fair kwendeka nema games ebantwana sesilapha ke nyala emidlalweni yabantwana ngithole nangimake eceleni kwami uyachaza ukuthi ngisisibani usuka kuphi futhi yena.
Igama lami ngilethe ukhanya wangosi ngihlala lana kaManzini ngilete umfana kithi lana una 3 uyaqala kude ema games uwajabulele nje kakhulu. Siyabonga shem.
Ngabe ke siswami nje uma nawe ula lamhla Educational Monday ngabe yini nje lofisa ukukufunza wena ungakabuyele ekhaya uthi hayi emavuso kungisitile kuya ngemsombuluko ngiveke ngathola naku nanaku.
Ngigijimile vele bathite lapha ka agriculture bayafundzisa vele ngetintshalo la konke kwetimbali ngifisa nje kuyongena khona ngibuke ukuthi vele ngifunza ini khona ngidawuhlanyela nala kaManzini edolobheni.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu siswami.
Ngiyabonga bhetwa.
Baswati lamahle soloko ke sikiyo Educational Monday lamhla emavuso kumnanzi sibe samaswati ke solo singene njalo eceleni kwami ke seyikhona ingceko utachaza ke ukuthi ungubani yena ngiyangivusele ingceko ungubani kojawu nanceko.
Ngicela ngivusele onke amaswati ngiyivusela nonke ngatigabadeni ngisho ukuthi uselaba kanjani ngigabadeni igama lami ke ngingathi isikhathi igama lami ngilinda ngokamthetho sibongo sami ngisuka lapha emali yaduma nje inyalo kusena.
Mfundisi Linda, why are you here today emavuso lamhlanje langa letemfundo kuthiwa Educational Monday yini ofisa ukuthola nje lamhla ula emavuso wena?
Lona ngidela ukufunza nje cause basititela ngekutawu nekufunza ngidawufunza ngapha ngentela ngwani ukuthi why cause theater khona asikhona kufinyelela kito ngokuthi nizawathatha imali ngokuthi nizawuhlambeni into ukuthi mhlambeni thine maybe yabona ngetemfundo but yabona ngefundo ngithi ngefundo uyabona cause ifundo yabona isikole siyakhahlela sometimes but ngitela ngibone ngidawufunza ukuthi ngabe baphetheni kanjani bafundisa ngani khona into khona nami mhlambeni nabe khona le opportunity ukuthi nami bengakhona ukuthi ngikhona ngena kulo msebenzi wenkampani ngikhona nami ukuthi mhlambeni because sekunale lwati because wona nalwati emsebenzi uyakhona uxoxa melula ndani nalo temvele mbambo lo tembo vele mbambo
Abe mfundisi ngiyabonga kakhulu ngeke nkosi libe luhle kakhulu langa la. kanti ke mbukeli ke njengoba nathi ukuthi i-trade fair wonke muntu bakhona ke nabotwana la abangani bami njengoba nibona babahle kangaka ngicela kuva ukuthi ngikhuluma nabani ngibani igama lakho mshana
September Nasibusiso Vilani.
usuka kuphi evilani
Ngisuka esibuyeni.
Ngabe emagame sowadlalile yini ngiyakubona sowumuhle lapha bakupende kamnanzi sowadlalile nemagame ngimaphi nje futhi lofise kuhamba kuyewadlala ngabe awusengawadlali
Ngifisa kudlala jumping castle.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu ke ngoja ngubani wena
Ngingayanda ngwakamhlanga.
usuka kuphi ke wena
Ngisuka esibuyeni.
wena ufisa kudlala yiphi game
Jumping castle.
vele ngifuna kujamba wena kodwa ngubani igama lakho
Ngilizwe ngwe.
nawe ufuna kujamba
Cha,
ufuna kwenta ini wena
ngidlala ibhola.
ufuna kudlala ibhola ngabe ungathini nje kubantwana abangangawe labasemakhaya kanti bayafisa nabo kuda la
Nabo. Ngacela kuta nabo lana.
okay ngiyabonga kakhulu bye
Bye.
njengoba sathi ke babukeli ukuthi lapha ke emavuso ku trade fair nebantwana ke bavumelekile njengoba kunemidlalo eminingi kakhulu sebakhona eceleni kwami ebantwana bakhona ngicela kuva ukuthi nibobani emagameni bomalume Ngithubelihle usuka kuphi mshana
Mhlambe.
wena ungubani igama lakho mshana ngubani usuka Mhlambeni nawe yes kodwa lapha emavuso lamhla ndodlala maphi nje ama games
Dudu.
manje ke niyakuthanda labantu bhale kona laphisweni lamuhla ngiyabonga kakhulu bashana enjoy neve thank you
This is Semavuso Trade and Exhibition Center on the beautiful Monday morning, the very first day of September 2025. Lasilethi khona ke maswahla mahle umsakado usakada ke bukhoma kuchubeka kwemsebenzi i-Eswatini International Trade Fair yanga 2025, which is the 57th edition. I-Eswatini International Trade Fair yaqala ke ngamnyaka wanga 1968. Kanti ke lesikhuluma ke lesikhathi sanyalo la yindzaba yetindzaba letitsinzana ke ne-exams council. A lot of transformations are happening within the digital space. Lokungendeka ukhanze ukuthi ku-influencer kuchutshwa kwema-exams kumakwa kusethwa kwawo ke ama-exams and tools that can perhaps help to improve examination, the conducting of examinations in the country. What is the exams councils doing? And I think this is a timely conversation because yes, they say all work cannot play makes Jack a dull boy. Trade fair but I think in about a month or so, or even a week, or even about 2 weeks or 3 weeks for some, they will be sitting for their examinations. What is happening in that space? You do want to find out because that is exactly where your child is going in the next 3 weeks or a month. With me in studio is the communications officer of the Examination Council of Eswatini, Hlengiwe Ndlovu. Hlengiwe, a very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to our studios this afternoon.
Good afternoon, John, and afternoon to our viewers at home.
Yeah, and I am so happy to see you all dressed up like this. You look like a student ready to sit for their final examination.
Yes, indeed, John. Actually, we embraced the theme, today's theme here at Eswatini TV. Okay. It's an education Monday, plus we're an examining body. So we thought, why not embrace the theme? Yeah. To be relevant, to appeal to our clients, the candidates out there, and also to the education sector in Eswatini.
Yeah, studying is one thing, you know, everybody agrees that we must study. And if it were according to all students, we would just study and not sit for exams. You know. Let's talk about the importance of examinations.
Okay, examinations are actually very, very important because they are a yardstick. They actually evaluate the entire education system. For instance, at EPC level, grade 7, that is, the examination helps to evaluate what the learners have been doing from grade 1 up to grade 7. So without examinations, we wouldn't exactly know what the candidates, what the learners were up to. So as an assessment body, we pride ourselves in actually assessing the entire education system, from curriculum development to pedagogy, that's teaching and learning. So the examinations are actually a benchmark of what is happening in the education system in
why
the country.
Why do learners dread to sit for their final exams? We had stories of learners having bad dreams, you know, I failed my exams, you know, they just cannot wait for the results because they don't know. They've been studying the whole year, but you find that even those who are capable never believe that they can actually excel at the end of the examination. Why do they always come with that fever? What can learners do to overcome that fever?
Okay, John, we cannot run away from the fact that examinations are painstaking because with our current system, we have what we call formative and summative assessments. Formative assessments, it's the examinations that students will normally take in the course of the year at school. And then the summative, which is the examinations administered by us, the Examinations Council of Eswatini. Those ones, they determine if you proceed to the next grade or not.
Okay.
So, truth be told, nobody would relax at the thought of having an exam that will determine whether you proceed to the next level or not.
Yeah.
But, sorry, John, we encourage our candidates to prepare adequately for the exams.
That's the best way to deal with it.
You know, yes,
That's
to
the
deal with
best
the anxiety, knowing that you are well prepared for the assessment.
We also witness a lot of evolution around the digital space, you know. What is the Exams Council doing to sort of modernize its examinations by incorporating digital tools?
Okay. Look, John, by way of reintroduction to our viewers, the Exams Council is responsible for administering exams at grade 7 level. We also have the lower secondary checkpoints exam. We also administer the JC examination, as well as the EGCSE, EPCSE exams. That's the school leaving qualification. So, as an examining body, we have been watching with great fascination developments taking place in the international arena around digitalization and so forth. So as an examining body, we have not folded our arms. We acknowledge and realize that we have to be relevant with trends happening at local level, at the regional level, continentally, and also internationally. Strides that have been taken by the Examinations Council of Eswatini in terms of digitalizing exams include, for instance, we have an e-registration portal. This portal was fully rolled out this year. Now, with e-registration, all schools or examination centers were required to do candidate registrations online. That's the first one. We also have an online markers application portal. Now, this one enables our markers to apply online. We also have a number of other initiatives. For instance, this year, we're in the process of implementing an item banking system. Now, this is a cutting-edge technology which is meant to improve our question paper development processes. Now, also for digitalization, we also have a semi-digital marking platform for multiple choice questions. Now, this means that all multiple choice question papers, they are marked semi-digitally.
Can you explain what you mean by that? Because now I think that the fear will be, is the Exams Council saying our papers are going to be marked by machines and not human beings? And we need to be clear about that.
Good question, John. The semi-digital marking of multiple choice question papers has been taking place for a while now. What normally happens is that with multiple choice questions, the candidates are required to shade their scripts. So after the shading, these question papers don't necessarily go through the markers, the human markers. They are marked through machines digitally, and we have seen great efficiencies in this regard in terms of marking these papers digitally. For instance, there is great elimination of human error, and there is higher efficiency of marking. because now this is digitalized.
Yeah, and I think the one question I'd like to take you back to is the question of, and I think we see this happening within the structures of higher education, where learners sit for their examination on a computer-based platform, you know. And I think if you look at what COVID taught us, we ought to probably be thinking about that. I don't know if there is a conversation already taking place around in the future, perhaps, to see learners sitting for computer-based learners as opposed to what we see currently.
As an examining body, we acknowledge and recognize that that's the direction the world is taking. Examining bodies, tertiary institutions have taken that footing in terms of assessments. So as an examining body, we're also taking strides towards that.
Yeah, and for instance, you know, I am a keen supporter of the principle that says anticipate, prepare, respond. And what happened during COVID was a total surprise to everyone, you know. And assuming we get a statement from the World Health Organization, for instance, or there is a disruption, you know, globally caused by whatever eventuality, you know, how is the Exams Council positioning itself to say whatever disruption we may face of whatever nature, we will still be able to conduct our examination? Perhaps not today, but probably in the next year or 5 maybe even.
Look, John, our medium to long-term vision actually embraces that idea. But I'd also like to highlight that for Eswatini actually to have digital assessments, we would need a multi-stakeholder approach. For instance, the schools would need to be equipped with computers, with internet, adequate power, stronger bandwidth, and whatnot. So that one would require a multi-stakeholder approach, especially between the Examinations Council of Eswatini and the Ministry of Education. Because for virtual or online assessments to take place, we need resources. We need schools to be adequately equipped. We need teachers and learners to have a digital know-how.
It's such a big project, actually.
Yes,
it can never be rolled out, like I'm saying, even perhaps in the next 5 years. Just a quick one, and I need you to give me an answer to this before we take on our very last question, you know. The fears on artificial intelligence, you know, we see a lot of work being done, you know, especially a lot of theses, you know, a lot of assignments, essays, you know, compositions, and so on and so forth, being formulated via artificial intelligence tools, you know. And I think this largely also contribute towards, I don't know if they still play a part towards the continuous assessment of learners, you know, which we may think our learners are sitting for their final examination being fully equipped, whereas you'd find that some of their work during the course of the year has been undertaken by artificial intelligence tools, you know. What are we doing to protect our learners from this kind of development?
We have actually watched the space, the artificial intelligence space, with keen interest. A few weeks back, we had this conversation with our accreditors, that's Cambridge University Press and Assessment. But our take as an examining body is that, look, artificial intelligence is here to stay. We cannot wish it away. So, as an examining body, we do embrace artificial intelligence because we realize that AI could actually more or less enhance our question paper development processes, our results processes, and also our data analysis processes. But artificial intelligence requires a great deal of governance because we realize that artificial intelligence is a world within a world. It does require a great deal of governance. And also, if we take, say, the artificial intelligence route in future, we would, as an examining body, require some form of human intervention for our stakeholders to trust the end product at the end of the day, because like I mentioned, artificial intelligence is a world within a world.
Of course, just very last one in 30 seconds. I'm happy that the Exams Council of Eswatini is working hand in hand with internationally accredited institutions like you have already mentioned. Cambridge was here, and the conversation around AI was had on the table, But where do we see the quality of our examination, especially Form 3 and Form 5, particularly our Form 5 in terms of global competitiveness, to say it can take our students to global universities if they want to?
Good question. The Ministry of Education in the last years actually introduced a pilot program, a 4-year high school pilot program. And this program actually ensures that our candidates do their high school in 4 years, but they write a checkpoint examination in Form 2. So what this program has done is that it paves way for the introduction of AS and A levels, perhaps even at countrywide stage in future, who knows. But we are confident that a stronger school living certificate will enable our candidates to have a competitive edge in the global arena.
Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for coming. I have a much bigger platform for you on our program, Mbili Ganye Ganye, which I think we can dissect these kind of issues at length. Thank you so much for coming through today.
Thank you so much, and bye to our viewers.
Trading Exhibition Center communications specialist of the Examinations Council of Eswatini. We shall take a quick break and have more interesting conversations around digital transformation and what is happening in the education space.
Solo ke sila emavuso lamhla ke nguye day 4 ekani ke lilanga nje letemfundo lamhla ecela kwami ke sokhona ke lapha sitachaza ke kuthena ungubani wakabani usuka kuphi futhi sanibonani sisi
yebo bhuti njani
siyaphila kaja ngikhuluma nabani usuka kuphi futhi
ukhuluma na Mesimthetho sibuya eMbuluzi High School.
Njengoba lamuhla ke MEC kulanga nje educational ingabe athini ama expectation akho in terms of education lamuhla?
Njengoba site nebantwana bethu from Embuluzi, from 2 departments, ICT and commercials. So sibukahle kahle si expect ukuthi ema syllabus ethu acoverisheke at least 50%. They see the devices and they see how the commercials apply in how to sustain yourself.
Kahle kahle nje ninentelelana ukuthi bantwana batobona ukuthi ema devices lebafundisa ngawo ayatholakala yini lamhla la e-trade fair.
Yes, silethe ngaloko devices babone nje ukuthi yini lokunye lokukhona besides nangabe impilo ayivumi ngala ungaphenza uzamena ngakuphi.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu madam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Solo ke mavuso kuyaphithitela nje kumnanzi sibe semaswati soloko singene njalo eceleni kwami ke sokhona make la ngicela kuva ukuthi ngikhuluma namake bani sowa kuphi futhi
Make Dudu Dlamini suke eMfabantu.
Make Dudu, why are you here today utofunani lamuhla lapha emavuso?
Ngitofunza since ku Educational Monday bese ngilochinja ne certificate sami ngawungena ke ku ongekela lamanye ama pavilions ngiyabuka.
Njoba tino titinengi tingapane tikhona la tinengi letikhona ngabe ungathini nje esiven samaswati ngelwati lolukhona la lokhanza ukuthi kukhashane na usuka nje le emakhaya uta embabane mhlawumbe kuba khashane ungathini nje kubantu ukuthi abete lamhla lana abete ukuthola lwati ngetingapane
Kungcono lokho ukuthi utitele wena ufike ubude uba nalesikhathi lesanele angisho na ufika lema office ukhanza ngosisofika nabo sebathiniwa basakuphendvula kahle kodwa nyalo uhlala kahle nabo phasi ubabude bakuphendvula.
Bosiyami ngiyabonga kakhulu mali.
Thank you.
Eceleni kwami ke mbukeliso ukhona umfundzi lapha utasichazela ke umfundzi ukuthi yena ungubani okabani usuka kuphi futhi yena sabona sisi kunjani?
Yebo bhuti njani?
Ngiyaphila kodwa ungubani wena usuka kuphi futhi isikolo?
Igama lami nginozwelo ngakagule ngisuka eMbuluzi High School.
Nozwelo, why you are here at Mavuso today? Njengoba sathi ukuthi lilanga lamhla letemfundo iMonday nje educational ube la nawo nalamuhla.
Namuhla sitawufundza sitawubuka timoto ICT sibukele lekungekho etincwadzini nalokungekho la sihlala ngakhona sikhone ukubona namuhla sibe exposed.
Ngabe nje ungathini wena ngekuthi nje what are your expectation ukuthi mhlambe udathi ungakubona letintho leti ekutakusita ngani nje siswami?
Ngiva ngathi kutangisita kakhulu lokho cause ukhanza ukuthi mhlambe ku-exam utokhona kubhala kakhulu than ukuthi lempo uyibone kunekuthi uyive kuphela. Ngiva ngathi kutakusa ngaleyo ndlela and itinto azitati embuluzi nje kule emakhaya le and asikho exposed letiningi.
Mhlambe kukhuthatha nje umntwana lo sekhaya lo ngangawe lofundzako lo yendako nale ICT kwekuthi angeda inemavuso etokhona naye kubona letinye tinto la tingakhona titimsite emfundweni yakhe.
Yebo ngiva ngathi bonke bamfana bangeda la batokhona kusitakala. There is so much help.
Okay, ngiyabonga kakhulu sis.
Ngiyabonga.
Welcome back. It's Digital Transformation 2.0 at the International Trade Fair, and of course we're focusing on education. So we want to talk with a representative from Eswatini Medical Christian University, Sinamkhumbulo Ndlovu, of course, who is a Dean in the Faculty of Applied Social Sciences. Hello, how are you doing, Mr. Ndlovu?
I'm doing great, and how are you?
That's not convincing. How are you doing? Are you doing great?
I'm doing so well, thank you.
Thank you for taking your time to talk to us today.
The pleasure is mine.
Yes, sikhulumisa indaba education and digital transformation. So sifuna kuva kabantu ukuthi le Eswatini Medical Christian University senibaqeqesha kanjani bafundzi given the fact that now times are evolving. So has anything changed in terms of like the education, how you guys conduct your classes?
Okay. Angibonge ngiphinze ngivusele umbukele ekhaya.
Yes.
Sibongela ukuthi nisinikele lithuba.
Yes.
To share with the nation ukuthi how do we conduct business.
Yes.
As you will be aware ukuthi I think as of last year we got accreditation for a degree in medicine.
Yes.
Which is the first to be the first institution in the country to offer a medical degree program. And through that program, the university has applied its mind and resources to ensure we embrace technology.
Yes.
One of the major milestones that we have achieved in that dimension is the use of what is called the visual anatomy table.
Okay.
Which is a technological gadget that mimics the human anatomy.
Okay.
You would note that medical students at some point have to conduct dissection using cadavers, which are literally dead bodies of humans.
Yes.
But in the context where in the country we do not have an act of parliament yet that regulates the acquisition, the storage, the usage and disposal of cadavers.
Yes.
We then had to apply technology to bridge that gap.
Yes.
Where students are using this technology, the virtual anatomy table, to actually conduct dissection and be able to be prepared psychologically and mentally to face cadavers later in the course of their study. But at the moment, we are using this simulation laboratory equipment to address that concept.
Okay.
Yes.
And siyati ukuthi sikhuluma ngaloku sikhathi siyashintsha. There's something that is called telemedicine. So can you tell me more about what that is, and of course how you prepare Lama students in a time whereby anything you can get at the touch of your hands. Now you press a button or you have an app, a particular app, because you can access healthcare services on your mobile device. So what are you guys doing to ensure ukuthi there's still like a market for your students who are still enrolled in your school?
Yes. Siyabonga kakhulu. Tikhathi tiyashintsha, and you are putting it very right.
Yes.
And as an institution nako lokho ukuthi nathi sibambisane nato letikhathi singasaleli ngemuva. In terms of telemedicine, we are saying it is a technology lesita ukuthi whilst you are practicing on the ground, normal in the hospital, dealing with your clients, you are able to access specialist services from a number of specialists globally that can be connected. You can actually conduct surgery under the instruction of another experienced surgeon who could be in the US.
Yes.
So that's the long and short of telemedicine, where sometimes clients can get services virtually.
Yes.
In terms of how we are preparing students in that dimension, especially with our medical students, you'd note that they only began last year.
Okay.
And because of that reality, they only have covered their first year of study.
You're right.
Which is basically the basic sciences that they're dealing with.
Yes.
Issues of anatomy, etc. So telemedicine, therefore, within that program is a specialist area which they are yet to meet possibly at year 5.
Okay.
As they move towards completion. Okay. So at the moment, they are still dealing with the fundamentals and the basics.
Yes.
However, in their curriculum, that element is actually going to be addressed.
Okay.
Yes.
And Naskuluma ngete healthcare, we are talking our local needs as a country, and then we are also talking about global standards. Can you tell me about how you equip them to understand the differences between both?
Yes. Thank you very much. Maybe let's start with how do we address the local standards first? Because we start at home, then we progress outside. In terms of local standards, we are regulated. Almost all the programs that we offer 8 different degree programs. They are regulated. Okay. First of all, as an institution, we are regulated by the Eswatini Higher Education Council, ISHEC.
Yes.
ISHEC has got standards that we need to abide by. So all our programs are accredited by ISHEC. So that means that we have met the local regulators' expectations. But beyond ISHEC, we have other regulators as well that deal with certain professions which we produce for.
Okay.
For example, the Nursing Council regulates the way in which we offer the nursing degree program.
Yes.
We also have got the Eswatini Medical and Dental Council.
Okay.
It regulates a number of programs, including the Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Sciences, Bachelor of Pharmacy, and also Bachelor of Psychology. So all these programs are also regulated by EMDC.
Okay.
So that is at the local context. We have done everything we can to make sure that we align ourselves with their expectations.
Yes.
But on the international landscape, we have collaborations with external universities and also collaborations with external health institutions. We have a memorandum of understanding with Wits University, which is one of the outstanding universities in Africa and possibly competes with other universities globally in terms of training quality healthcare professionals.
Yes.
Now, with Wits University, our students that are doing the medical degree program, they have an opportunity to go there and practice on their cadavers. They have an opportunity to go and learn dissection alongside the students of vets.
Oh, okay.
So they usually go there for quite a number of weeks to stay there and be in class with vet students.
Okay.
So that gives you the confidence in the curriculum and in the skills that are transferred to the students.
Yes.
But we also, through our other programs, we have agreements with universities in Korea. We also have an agreement with Jesus Hospital in South Korea, where our nursing students every year, they go and practice in those hospitals.
Yes.
We also have got a partnership with the pharmacy department of the Northwest University here in South Africa.
All right.
And as we speak this week, our students are going to be going to the Northwest, where they will also join the other students there doing pharmacy in their classes and get to use the equipment that Northwest University has.
Yes.
So this kind of partnership creates opportunities for staff exchange and creates opportunities for student exchange.
Yes.
And that then enhances our standard of education.
Yes.
And also through continuous professional development. We have an organization called CONSAS, which is a consortium for young or new and upcoming medical schools in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
And our university is a member of that consortium.
Yes.
So our professors, from time to time, they attend conferences organized by these bodies. And it is through those conferences that latest trends and technological issues and maybe dimensions in healthcare are also discussed.
Right.
And as a result, we benefit a lot in sharpening our lecturers so that they are up to stage with latest trends, and also making sure that our curriculum is regularly reviewed to actually subsume and actually absorb latest trends that affect healthcare issues.
Right. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but before I let you go, ngifuna kuva lokuthi vele indzaba yokuthi sekiwa eklasini every other day angithi nani ni Eswatini Christian University send now my online classes, right? They don't have to go to school every other time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we actually sinayo le blended learning approach.
Okay.
Le fake khatsi ukuthi bayakhona kufunza online.
Yes.
Using a learning and management system le khona.
Okay.
Sometimes nabo Zoom siyabasebenzisa.
Yes.
Nabo Google Meet siyabasebenzisa.
Yes.
So lokho kwenta ukuthi noma enga physically for some reason they are not able to come, but imfundo nokufunza kuyaqhubeka using le technology le khona.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Ndlovu, and of course it's coming from Eswatini Medical Christian University, telling us kuti baba equipa kanjani ema students in terms of like their practices, sesifundile ke nabo dissection ukuthi timfo letukhona when we're talking about medicine. And of course we have heard about the exchange programs abakhona with different universities and different countries to ensure ukuthi they get the practical side of it if in the country there isn't a lot of equipment to equip them with the necessary skills that they have. And of course, it is still digital transformation. We'll be right back after the break.
Lengakusho ke mbukeli ukuthi mavuso kumnanzi kakhulu emaswati asuke nikhaleni tonke telive atele nje kutofunza tinto letinengi so khona ke cela kwami ke dzadewethu ngicela kuva ukuthi ngikhuluma nasisibani usuka kuphi futhi
ukhuluma nasi Zandisele Mavimbela ngisuka khona la kaManzini from kaKhiana Clinics ngisoma business lomncane lokhona eveni ngakhaya ama tissue paper kanye ne cleaning material.
My sister njengoba sowulana lamuhla emavuso lamuhla ke sithi Educational Monday ngabe yini nje wena lofisa ukufunza usesela emavuso elangeni lamuhla
mina lokungangithokozisa kakhulu lamuhla ukuthi ngikufunze based kuma SMEs ukuthi where can we get the funding and kuyintinfo la kufanele ukuthi sitende, but at the same time ngifuna nekwati ukuthi kulawo amabhizinisi la khona even la kaNgwane la Sandlondlobele ende kanjani wona ancobe kanjani ukuthi nje sikhutsatane kuletinhlangothi leti kanjalo.
Kanti ke mbukeli isoloko silapha ke sisemavuso lapha emavuso lamhla since kwi Educational Monday ikhona iseminar elekhona la utasichazela nje kafishane ngayo babela iceleni kwami ngicela kuva ke ukuthi ngikhuluma nababe bani nenda ini la kule seminar.
Okay, siyabonga mbhuti wami igama lami ngingumenzi Bennett. I'm with the ENIDC. I'm the strategy and research manager. Yeah.
Mhlambe ungasinika nje mhlambe overview yale seminar ukuthi ingabe vele lama attendees la khona la ini expect ukuthi indabafundzisa ini bathole ini futhi bona in return.
Okay. Lokumcoka kakhulu ngale seminar lesinayo namuhla ukuthi sithule ukuthi ENIDC lokuyinkampani yahulumende wenda ini yini lusito lalilethako esiveni ikakhulu ngakulolu hlangothi lwetimali So nguko lokumcoka kakhulu lesikubukile namuhla ukuthi asikulethe siveni nekukhombisa nje ukuthi sende ini eminyakeni le endlulile ngoba kumcoka lokuthi sive sathi siphinde sive sifundziseke ngebumcoka bekuthi i-industrial development finance imcoka ngani eveni. Utawubona mbuke msakati ukuthi kunebantfu labachamuka from IDC lesibamemile namuhla ukuthi sekete batosikhulumela ukuthi bona bende njani because they have managed to develop a portfolio that is so lucrative in South Africa, and we believe that from that relationship and from that partnership we have developed, we can build more on that and see how we can co-finance and work together on projects in Eswatini. So kumcoka kakhulu lokho nalokuthi bathi lokuthi sisebenzisana kanjani nebaka IDC nangabe bafuna timali bati-applyela kanjani konke lokho kufanele sikukhulumise noma bakwadi noma singeke sikukhulumise konke namuhla but bakwadi lokunye lokumcoka uhulumende unelihlelo lolusha lolufanele alwethule siveni utalwethula minister namuhla naloku kugadzeke ukuthi bantu bathi ukuthi batawuthola njani usito lwetimali from ENIDC kule minyaka lesihlanu dako budwa.
Siyakholwa ke ukuthi Mr Bennett emaswati onke atokhona kusitakala nemaswati lasendzaweni esemakhaya mhlambe nje ngufisela inhlanhla ngifisela wona emaswati inhlanhla asa attende yona isemini.
Siyabonga kakhulu msakathi, thank you.
Solo sikiyo ke Educational Monday mbukeli lengikholwa ke ukuthi soloko uyithokotele njalo ecela kwami ke sokhona ke dzadewethu lapha ngicela kuva ukuthi ngikhuluma nasisibani usuka kuphi futhi.
Ngikhuluma Hlopsile Shabangu kusuka eNgwane Park.
Okay mpele nje sofikile lapha emavuso lamuhla ngabe yini nje lo expect kuyifunza lamuhla since sithi nje Educational Monday.
Kunengifundise ukufunza namuhla njengeku attaining ema life skills umsebenzi wetandla like lengubonele bazamile kwakha ema furnitures bantu bangekhasi laba kuma correctional services letibosha takhona sithi ekhaya baking also baking into lengifisa kuyenda ke mina as a career like ungena ku kungena ku catering. I like baking a lot and cooking, so ngifuna ukuattenda lokho ke ngisahamba ezingisatohamba futhi ngibukele okunye about my university schools nema companies la khona ngibone indoda khona ukuthi bafundisani konke nje lokhamisana nabo technology life into nje tihambisana nempilo ukuthi ngiconnect endela something ngadepend from umuntu or anyone nje ngibe ngisisilutimele.
Ngabe ungathini nje sisasephetha kumuntu mhlambe losekhaya ngaba ngumuntu lomusha ngaba ngumuntu losemdzala ukuthi nje naye phela emavuso kube khona la takufunza since sathi ukuthi kunama stories lamanengi lokunengi lesingakuthola ukulwadi.
Ngasho nje kusumntu ake tatotibukela tokhatikhethela atimele yena athole lwadi lolisetulu angahlali nje ekhaya abukele labanye akethe nje atisukumela atotisebenzela.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu sisami. Sivusela ke Maswati nalamuhla ke entsambama la emavuso Trade and Exhibition Center lapho khona ke umsakato Eswatini TV uyingcenye emsebenzini lomkhulu loqhubeka ko Eswatini International Trade Fair 2025 on the very first day of September. A beautiful Monday afternoon ngethemba ukuthi naphila ke emakhaya kuphina kuphi lapho ke umsakato Eswatini TV unithola khona. My name is John Perez and on set today at this hour is two gentlemen from the University of Creative Technology Limco Queen based in Mbabane. We just want to talk to them about their role in the market, what are they doing, the element of creativity and how they have transformed industry and how they see digital transformation taking over in many aspects of the economy. Ngicela ke introduce amaswati lamahle ngesencele sami la ngina Mr. Siqebi Msibi who is the senior industry and lead manager. Ndlodlo angubingelele ku Eswatini lekuvusela babukeli.
I know siyavusela John Perez vusela nebabukeli emakhaya shoni.
Sibonga kakhulu kuba nathi la. Arnold Tavaziva, very good afternoon, my brother. Thank you so much for being part of this discussion here this afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Limco Queen University, what an institution, to be quite honest with you. And I had a short conversation with one of my colleagues right now and says, he calls me Mr. Banks and says, Mr. Banks, look around.
what do you see? All this creativity. You were here 10 years ago, Mr. Perez. Were these things here? You were here 15 years ago. Were these things here? I said to myself, I know what you are talking about. There is a lot of transformation that has happened merely because of the product of this particular institution. I am not the spokesperson of this institution, but I just want to say we know you exist, but you can reinforce this narrative in terms of your work in the market. How proud are you of the institution since it was introduced in the market in terms of what it has produced and what those products have done to transform the market?
Mr. Perez, we were very proud. As you have just mentioned, I think you were spot on. When we came in 2011 in the country, the landscape was not like this. I think we have changed. We have transformed industries. We have transformed Eswatini TV as well. You look at your logo, if I'm not mistaken, was done by Limkokwing students. You look at the face of Kusi, the Breakfast Show, which is our alumnus, Sfiso Ngumalo. So I think as we look back before what was happening in Eswatini before 2011, we were very proud. We have transformed the industry as well as entrepreneurship, because Limkokwing, when it came into the country, I think His Majesty was in KL, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and was impressed about this university. And when we came in the country, we wanted also to make this a university, an entrepreneurial university, where most of the graduates would go into entrepreneurship. And indeed, we have done that for the past over 12 years.
Yeah, the work speaks for itself, to be quite honest. Mr. Tamaziva, you are in the faculty of ITC as head of department there. We are talking about an institution that is renowned for creativity. But how do we blend creativity and technology at the university? And how do we anticipate or hope that the learners ultimately come out and perhaps make use of both the skills, creativity and technology in their industries?
Okay, well, actually, we've been teaching them different technologies in the classroom level, and at the end of their program, they do their internship, and during the internship, we've got an incubation program, which is there on campus, which we try to fuse whatever that they've done in the classroom environment, and then they start up their businesses in the incubation program, which are some of the businesses which are here actually at the trade fair, which have actually done some of the works, like the planning of some of the different stores that are there have actually been done by students. The branding itself, whether we're using different types of softwares, your Adobe Photoshop, your Revit, all those are architecture, creative multimedia, and graphic design graduates of ours, of course.
Oh yeah, and I think I need to come back to you, Mr. Msibi, as the LEAP manager there. When we talk about students who are products of this institution, even before they are formally employed as workers in these particular organizations and industries, I think there is a belief or a tendency that it is expensive to bring them in, but they do that to their detriment, because if you don't bring in a student from Limkokwing and saying, I can't pay them, I can't do this and that, how is that holding back industries or smaller growing or medium-sized growing companies, whereas we've got these resources at their disposal coming through from the university?
I think it is, because, as you know, our graduates they're very creative. The past 2 months we were traveling with my team, traveling the different companies. And the testimonials that we're getting from the companies, that ever since your interns have come through,
the current interns.
Yeah, they've changed, the way we do things in the company. So companies that are not taking our students, they're really, Mr. Perez, losing, because these are young creatives who are coming with new solutions that the companies do not have. So I'll use this opportunity to say, really, companies, whether it's SMEs, whether it's corporates, they're really losing by not absorbing our students for internships.
We have always done things this way. That's the narrative, And I think we need to challenge that, because they are saying, we've always done things this way and it's been working. Why should I reinvent the wheel, And I think we need to answer this question here today.
Yeah, I think they're really losing, because, the world is changing. Globalization. So if companies are not changing the way they were doing things, whether it's production, 10 years ago, in the near future they become obsolete because the world is changing, the tools that you are using, they are changing, the new softwares. Yet these young stars that are coming from the universities, they're coming with those skills that were not there before.
Yeah, and I think from your end, Mr. Tabaziva, the need to identify the critical IT skills that will bring in that will bring in the necessary evolution within companies, how are we keeping up, in terms of providing these skills at the tertiary level and the classroom level to say we are giving these students not just module-based fundamentals, but we are giving them practical skills that are now necessary in the market, and perhaps you can have the same student who studied in Eswatini to go and work in Kuala Lumpur where this institution originates from. Yeah.
Okay, yes, definitely. We're always consistently upgrading our softwares to make sure that we are meeting the industry needs. And of course, we do have industry advisors who come into the university, advise us of the different trends that are there in the market, and we impact that particular knowledge to the students. And this helps us to keep at par with whatever industry, or whatever that is happening in the industry, and actually also improve on whatever that is actually there.
Yeah, and from what you've seen, perhaps over the few years you've been with the institution, how is the appetite and perhaps the ability to be keen to learn, to adapt these new technologies when you teach these students, because I understand sometimes that you are in class because you need to graduate, and there's a difference between a student who is in this thing for the passion, for the love, What do you see when you teach these students? Are they really excited about discovering these new innovations, these new technologies? And what do they say when they make their presentations about going out there? What do they envision?
Actually, it's pretty much exciting because the students have shown a lot of passion, in what they want to do. They have shown a lot of passion in terms of wanting to get new knowledge. And of course, we do give them projects which they go out in the industry, right? And when they go out in the industry, they come back with a lot of feedback that whatever that we're teaching them in the classroom, they're actually seeing that it's actually something that is being used out there. And of course, when we do our tracer studies, we've actually seen, been getting a lot of positive feedback of whatever that we're actually teaching in the industry. So you'd actually see that Chancellor also coined a word called indacity, where he was actually joining whatever that is in the industry and whatever that is in the classroom can actually be called indacity. So you actually find that whatever that we're actually teaching in the classroom, the students are showing a lot of passion, they're happy about it, and they actually also give us very positive feedback.
In the age, and I come back to you shortly, Mr. Msibi, in the age of AI, when I got oriented to some of these softwares or some of these AI tools, they tell me that I can create a website now, and I was like, I can create a website, I can design, I can do this and that, I can start coding, they give me all these kind of languages to say, if you do this and this and this, you can create an app and something like that, But I think at the back of my mind, I say, I think this will now start to diminish the interest that learners will naturally generate in a classroom setup, because if they go on an AI tool, they just punch in the prompts, to say I want 1, 2, 3, and it's done. Perhaps you are in class teaching them, and they don't even care because they know they will go onto this AI tool and just easily do this, and basically come back and submit it to you and say, I've done my project, whereas it was not done by them, it was just done by the AI tool. How do we deal with this concern, and is it something that's already happening from your experience?
Definitely, we cannot run away from AI. AI is there to stay. And what we're saying is that we need now, or we're starting now, to incorporate the AI into our assessments, to say that when you come up with your assessment, you need to involve the AI within the assessment. Yes, of course, you rightfully said, yes, students are doing that, but we are now looking at ways of how to incorporate AI in the assignment itself, to say, look for this information on the AI. It will assist you on A, B, C, D, and E, because we cannot run away from AI because it is there to stay. Of course, we do have other softwares that we're using to try and curb the issue of plagiarism, because it is is there, botanic in and so forth.
Yeah, it's a conversation that you also want to make a contribution in, Mr. Msibi.
Yeah, but I think AI is here to stay. We just need to embrace it. I think as a university, we're also looking at softwares because we know students, they'll just go to ChatGPT and write an assignment. So we are aware of that. We just need to embrace AI because AI is here to stay. So we need to look at what softwares can we use to detect this plagiarism if the students happen to use ChatGPT.
Let's speak to stakeholders, especially at the market, the job market itself. We have this institution, and it's such a pity, and I've been working with Eswatini TV for quite some time now, and I look at the number of graduates that the institution enrolls on a permanent basis, be it on the journalism faculty, be it on the multimedia faculty, or even on the business management, where you find we have a graduate working in the marketing department or even IT department. It's not happening at that level that the institution is producing the graduates, which is a big concern for me. I know the institution is also advocating for the fact that these students must be self-employed, which is why I think it comes with the entrepreneurship program as part of it, But I think we need to speak to stakeholders to say we've got cream that's available to be used, and how do we engage them? Because it won't be enough to speak about it here. How do we engage them so that they can appreciate the skills that were previously not available in the market in the past 20 years?
Yeah, I think it would be just to urge the industry to take up our students, whether it's on graduate trainee programs or it's on contractual basis. But I know the government is trying now with the new UNDP program for graduate trainees. But I do hope, Mr. Perez, and I feel in my heart that there's a lot that we can do. Like you see in South Africa, the way they're doing, they've got learnership programs that are run by government. So as I'm sitting here, Mr. Perez, I'll also like to urge government, to run such programs so that our graduates do not come stale, sitting at home. So I think we really need to work together and stop the silo mentality as the industry work together with the universities and also government, because I know government is the biggest employer in the country. So we would like to urge government also to come to the party and employ our graduates.
Of course. And Mr. Tavaziva, I think there is also a danger we risk by perpetrating this narrative that the world is shifting largely towards digital transformation and urging our students to now focus on these particular disciplines, and you'd find that some of these students do not have the strength or even perhaps the passion to cope with the demands of this particular industry. What does it really entail to be part of an IT department in a college, in a university? Because you'd find that a lot of our youngsters, start taking up this kind of disciplines or courses because the narrative now in the market, in the economy, is that if you are not studying IT, you don't know what you are doing. If you are not doing this, you don't know what you are doing, And you'd find you have a lot of those students who are not interested in what they are doing, but they are doing it simply because they just want jobs at the end of the day.
Okay, of course, there are different perspectives to that, of course. Yes, you are right. There are others who are not interested, but of course, as you study, passion, because we give them that energy. Passion is contagious. Okay. So if we show passion in our classroom environment, you actually see that most of the students actually...
Passion can be developed.
Yes.
That's what you are saying.
Yes, definitely. Okay. And you see that when you teach them how to develop mobile apps, that's something that is very interesting to young people, you see. How do you develop websites like your social media and so forth and so forth. So that creates the passion, that creates the drive then to say, this is what I actually want to be doing.
Yeah, and I see you've been visiting a lot of constituencies or communities recently. What is the message to prospective students?
All we can say that they can enroll with our university, and we will drive, Mr. Perez, we're driving innovation, creativity, as well as entrepreneurship, because we know our economy is not performing well, and as a country, as a university, we want to start now encouraging students to say, as a country, let's start exporting entrepreneurs, to say we've got an entrepreneur that is in the UK or in Canada. solving IT solutions. So as we are visiting the communities, that is the narrative that we're trying to say, join our university because we are driving creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
Msebi, Tabaziva, thank you so much for coming through, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are at the Eswatini International Trade Fair. We shall take a quick break and come back with more interesting interviews.
Imagine being part of a journey that uncovers the beauty of untold stories. Get ready to be part of something epic. You don't want to be left out, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Join the journey of uncovering untold stories through art, words, and hands. O-U-T out. Well, that's poetry. Poetry. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Screens on, eyes glued.
Ngikwende konke lobekubhekekile kimi. Nginikele ngenkadi nemandla ami onke ngifeza tifiso tenu. Ngathela Luthando nenjabulo ngithobela imiyalo yenu. Don't want to lose you, Mate. Don't touch me. Kukho konke ngithembekile. Ngakhomba kuba indvodzana leqotho. Kodwa lokho bese ngikufuna manje ngeke ngikuthola. Ngekwami akusiko kwena. Yimpi nekufa kuphela lokudangihlukanisa nawe.
Spotting opportunity across the borders. Can we talk about that? How important is it for eMaswati to not just think,
yes,
this is where I have to find my being and move, but how can we also like find opportunities in other African countries, to be specific?
Well, I will answer that question out of my experience, and that is, I literally went to Tanzania, and then I started seeing opportunities.
Yeah.
If I didn't go to Tanzania, I was not going to see opportunities. I saw the potential when I was there. The travel agent potential is because I saw it there.
Yeah.
So I would really advise people not to confine themselves into one area. There is something they call the red card theory. The red card theory is if you're driving from here to Mbabane and you pass 7 cars that are red, and you will not notice them because you didn't think about noticing them.
Yeah.
But if I tell you before you leave here that I'll give you 20 rands for each red car that you see, on your way to Mbabane, you will tell me exactly how many red cars are there.
Yeah.
So that is spotting opportunity. That's basically putting your mindset and yourself in a position to see things, to see opportunities.
Don't miss Young Climber this Tuesday at 6:30, only on Eswatini TV.
Win big when you pay your TV license at the 2025 International Trade Fair. Step into the excitement at the Trade Fair, where staying connected brings you incredible rewards. Pay your TV license at our booth and stand a chance to score fantastic prizes all week long. What can you win? A dreamy weekend for 2 at Happy Valley, your perfect escape. A gourmet dinner thanks to our Sibanisami Hotel dinner voucher. A relaxing getaway with a George Hotel voucher. Delicious meals with an exclusive Ramblers dining restaurant voucher. The hottest tech gadgets from Computronics to upgrade your viewing experience. Food hampers by Logico. Building and fencing materials from Build It and Marksteel Eswatini. A tranquil retreat at Simunye Country Club. And that's just the beginning. Grab the Skujana remote for only 100 emalangini or treat yourself to a new Skujana at just 350 emalangini. Never miss a moment with Eswatini TV. 29 August to 7 September 2025, Mavuso International Trade Fair. Don't let this chance pass you by. Join us, pay your TV license, and find yourself among the lucky winners. Connect, experience, and win. See you at the Trade Fair.
Welcome back. We are still at the International Trade Fair of 2025, and I think one highlight of digital transformation is none other than artificial intelligence. So UNESCO, the University of Eswatini, has an AI academy, and one person who's here to tell us all about that is Dr. Zinhle Dlamini. Yes, she's a doctor. She said not to make it a big deal, but I'm making it a big deal. She's a facilitator, and she also lectures in electrical and electronic engineering. So we're about to find out more about this Artificial Intelligence Academy and what it means for Eswatini, and of course our aspiring young ones who want to venture into artificial intelligence. Hello, Dr. Dlamini, how are you?
Hello, I'm very fine, thank you.
Yes, I'm great. We're speaking artificial intelligence, so can you just tell me more about the inspiration and the drive to come up with this initiative? How did that come about?
Okay, so basically with AI, which being the buzzword that's happening now, which is so in need, and responded to that need. So it was basically just a strategic response to the emergence of AI. We're like, AI is here, so let's get people trained on how to use it efficiently and responsibly.
Okay, and when was that implemented, and how is it going so far?
Okay, so the Academy was established in August 2024, and so far it's going good. We've got 3 programs that we are running.
Yes.
One for legal, and then there's one for educators, and another one for professionals.
Okay, and we are talking artificial intelligence, which is something that we usually see online, and it's so interesting to know that young Eswatini are being equipped with these skills of, being able to learn more about artificial intelligence. But can you tell me more about, any real problems or any real projects that they are currently working on right now?
Okay, we do have a few projects that we have. If you go to our stand of the AI Academy, we've got some students there who can do some demonstrations for you.
Yes.
There's one interesting one on identity verification.
Yes.
So basically what that means is everywhere where you go, whereby you need to produce your ID and also show your face, and someone verifies that this is you, and then they provide the service. Yes. This is something that can be fully automated. Yes. So we have a student demonstrating how that can be done. Okay. You just take a picture of your ID, you upload it, and then you take a picture of yourself, and then you have to verify that this is you. So you do a liveliness check, like you have to blink to make sure this is a live human. Okay. And then it okays you, it verifies you, and then that can go into whatever system to do the provisioning or whatever service that you require. This is a system that's already up and running, well, a prototype of it.
Yes.
Yeah, the students can demonstrate it for you at the stand. This is just one of the examples of the projects that we have that can solve practical problems.
Yeah, and we are speaking of this project, where is it going to be implemented? Because, yes, they are demonstrating it now to show us what they are currently working on, but is it something that's going to be used in terms of your applications online, or are you looking at collaborating with, local stakeholders or companies to ensure that they use this technology?
Okay. Well, we're an education institution, so we just come up with the projects to obviously graduate students.
Yes.
But of course, we are open to any company that wants to implement whatever project that we're working on. We're happy to collaborate.
Okay, fair enough. And I just want to find out in terms of locally where artificial intelligence could make a difference. Is it education? Obviously education, because we're speaking digital transformation. In what sector? Is it education? Is it healthcare? Where do you feel like it's going to be making the most difference?
Okay. I think off the top of my head, one that I would pick, I'm inclined towards agriculture. And the reason I'm inclined towards agriculture is because, we're in Swaziland where the climate is good, we've got rains, so it's easy for people to, to actually pursue agriculture.
Yes.
And we already, we grow up in families whereby we already know when to plant maize, how much water they need. So I think if there's anyone at home who's educated, they can readily just implement an AI system to actually automate all these things and optimize. I think agriculture is the one that I feel like it's readily to go with it.
Okay, and also we're big on, exporting, and that could position us in a greater place in terms of our economy. I actually think agriculture is the best bit. And I just also want to find out as to how can Eswatini position itself in Africa's AI future. Do we actually have a future? And if we do, how does that look like for us?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're already on the right path. Say, for instance, with the trainings, we're already training people, and we're not just training Swazi people only because it's an online program. So we do get students from as far as Nigeria, Lesotho, enrolling on the course. So we are already, sort of like getting a stake on the African space. But also, what I think maybe as Swazis we can do is to come up with startups that are AI-based and then market them outside of the country and just deploy it everywhere. And AI is here already. It's a matter of just we come up with the startup and we sell the product and we show to people that you need this.
And I mean, in terms of like the classes, obviously, because you have more experience with that, which gender would you say is leaning towards artificial intelligence more? Men, right?
I don't want to say man.
Yes.
Because, AI is like the internet.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have any gender inclination to it. Take, for instance, I think we kind of like tend to think with certain subjects, especially sciences, they are for men. And I think statistically, maybe men are better at coding than females. But with AI, it's not really any gender specific because it's like a personal assistant. If you're doing this, you just use AI to do it better and more efficiently. So it's not really any gender inclination towards using AI and being good at it.
And of course, there's young people that are watching that are more exposed. Young people always are just so eager to keep learning, and they are so self-aware when it comes to artificial intelligence. So to the people that are actually watching, a young person maybe aspiring to venture into artificial intelligence, why would you say that that is something they should consider?
Well, I don't mean to scare anyone, but if you're looking at a career, what you want to be doing in the next 10 years, you really want to sit down and have a thorough thought about, is that career path still going to be relevant 10 years from now? Or is it going to be replaced by AI? So you do really want to embrace AI. You want to, it's a wave, it's moving. You want to catch on the wave and just go with it. If you're not using it, trust me, your friends are using it already. So you really want to embrace it and go into it. Career-wise, yes, you really want to move in that direction because that's where the rest of the world is moving to. So if you want to remain relevant, you need to embrace AI.
I might just enroll in that class after all. Hey, thank you so much for being with us and for talking to us today. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Dr. Dlamini, Dr. Zinhle Dlamini from the University of Eswatini, talking about all things AI, and it's time that we embrace it. If you're skeptical like myself, you need to catch on the wave because there's so many benefits that come with artificial intelligence, including working smart, That's the logo, and that's what young people are using as lingo these days. So we hope that the conversation was delightful for you. And to just say the parents should also be supportive to their children in terms of artificial intelligence classes because times are changing, right? With that being said, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Lalela ngikutshele tindzaba letiphuma enkosini. Uthokandaba, tinfombi, imbali yemaswati ayiphelele esigodlweni elidzidzi mhla titimbili enyonini. Titawufike tibhalise ngalelo langa. Mhla tintsatfu tiyaphuma. Mhla titine tiyageca. Mhla tisihlanu tiyabuya. Mhla tisithupha tiyaphumula. Mhla tisikhombisa tiyachitsa. Mhla tisiphohlongo enyonini tiyagidza. Imiyalo etikhulwini. Nguleso naleso sikhulu kubheke kokuthi sikhiphe emajaha lamane nabomake lababili. Kude kokuthi nakukhona longaphilwa lomunye webamfana. lawo lamabili emajaha akhone kubikela labafanele nekuthi lo mfana noma sekafakwe esibhedlela bakhone kubikela abatali emakhaya. Boba betikhulu bantfu benkosi lababuke imimango kubhekekile kokuthi bayale imbali nemajaha kanye nabomake nabaphuma emphakathini. Nawe emajaha ayati ukuthi tinfombi tilala todwa nalabadvuna balala bodwa. Boba betikhulu bayakhunjutwa kokuthi bangakhiphi bantfwana labancane ngenxa yekweswelakala kwemhlanga edvutane bese abasakhoni kuhamba indlela lenza. Siyimbali yeMaswati sichakazile sitakunqoba kuhlukubeteka. Usho njalo ke Mswati lomnyama kulabalithuli lodungandaba sembelebeleni makhephula ngejozi igazi liyaphalala ethe enwaphakathi.
Ibuyile Maswati amahle ke emavuso Trade Center lapho sikhuluma khona ke tindzaba letenteka ke Eswatini International Trade Fair 2025. Nathemba saphila Maswati kuphina kuphi lapho ke umsakato ufika khona. And one of the most pressing issues affecting young people in this country is the issue of completing high school and probably doing well and not being able to get scholarship. I am with the communications person at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. How do they decide? We are going to give this one scholarship, we are going to fund this one, we are not going to fund this discipline. Nompilo, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much, John, for having me.
Yeah, you are in a very critical ministry. Scholarship allowances, this and that. Scholarship. Let's just quickly get into it. How does the ministry decide which causes or which disciplines to fund or to give scholarships to?
Thank you so much. First of all, good number requirements that you are supposed to meet as a student. First of all, you need to have completed Form 5. And out of your Form 5 results, Sibuga your best 5 subjects. And if you want to pursue a diploma program, you have to have 27 points or above. And if you want to pursue a degree program, you have to have 30 points or above. And also we have a priority list at Tigo. These are the areas la khona umfundzi nakahambile ayofundza sekabuya Eswatini noma sekabuya ekhaya sekaqedzile e-tertiary uyakhona lokuthi aqasheke absorbeke i-labor market.
Okay. Kukhona la info lesendiwa yona bothishela masafunza ukuthi what do you want to be when you grow up, and we tell them exactly that, and we hope that when we are finally done with our Form 5 ngifuna kuyoba ngidokotela, and the minister says it is not in our priority list, and I'm not saying our government is not funding that kind of discipline, but angibekisa ngayo ukuthi ukhanya lombala soyajapa uthi ngikuphasile lento le kungabo and I've been doing that, you know. And how do these courses or some of these disciplines get into the priority list and some of them don't, and which then disadvantages some of the students to say we are taking nothing passile but what's about the scholarship.
Thank you so much. Litiko lended Nagula City National Skills Audit in 2022. Okay. So this study was looking into mark gaps that are there currently in the skill set market. We discovered that curriculum and industry are not talking into each other. So that created a lot of gaps. So we decided to do a skills audit report. And one of the findings and recommendations of that report was a skills anticipation report. La khona industry ne curriculum talks into each other. Okay, no ngabe John wants to do e-teaching. Will you be able to be absorbed by the labor market or not? As funi trainer, 4 years at tertiary, so let's simply because you love it. But at the end of the day, we want to train you so that you
there's a conversation, a robust conversation, not just in Eswatini but globally, that the world is changing towards digitalization, which then says to students, you know, they need to go towards that route. Yes. I don't know if courses or disciplines around around digital transformation or digital innovations are part of the priority causes that government funds?
Yes, definitely they are. And we are happy to see some of the local institutions introducing new programs.
Okay.
We saw UNESWANJE introducing e-actuarial science, and we saw Limpopo now converting from associate degree to becoming a degree in IT.
Okay.
So as a ministry, we do prioritize especially STEM careers. Now we are in we do prioritize the students that are wanting to further into STEM careers. So we do see AI is taking over, digitalization is taking over robotics, cybersecurity. So we do encourage that my students abuge courses as well as careers that are more focused on digitalization technology as well as AI.
I see. And there is also a belief kind of that says the issuance of scholarships sort of favors, or the application process favors those that are within the proximity of the Ministry of Labour in terms of where it is located, and which sort of disadvantages those who are coming from far off places, like really rural areas, whereas the students also have passed and deserve a chance, and they have to travel, pay lots of monies and just to get there to submit their applications. What is the ministry doing to put in place systems that create efficiencies and sort of like that digitize the application process for scholarships and many of the services that come with the needs of students?
Thank you. I like the fact that you said it's a belief. So it's really not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Yeah.
Our scholarship application is full.
Creating content has become so easy. Our digital marketing manager told me these days you just mass producing content using ChatGPT.
So the AI, you could use it both ways, in two different ways. One is to use it as it is, when it collects all the data from online and you just get something random, or you could